I want to tell you what I think is one of the biggest red flags in a therapist, and that is the agenda to pressure you in to feeling your feelings. It sounds kind of like the opposite, right? It sounds like, well, aren't therapists supposed to get you to feel your feelings? No. Therapists are supposed to help you learn to face and sit with the parts of you that you haven't learned how to sit with or integrate. This doesn't mean forcing you into your feelings. It means first helping you to recognize what are the protective parts of me that keep me away from feeling my feelings. Because if you just barge in, and this happens all the time where therapists just kind of have this agenda to make you cry, if you just barge in and go into the feelings too early, you are pushing someone into a vulnerability that they're not ready to handle. And so instead of saying, let's help you feel your feelings, we want to ask the question of, what would the conditions have to be to make you feeling your feelings safe? That's the question that we ask. That's what we ask exiles. That's what we ask protectors. What would have to happen in order for you to step back? And this is where healing comes, because it's helping the person to get to know themselves and encounter not just the feelings, but the protective parts of them that keep them from the feelings. And in learning to work with those protective parts, the person is simultaneously developing the very capacity that's fundamental to be able to step into the feelings. Differentiation of self, self-regulation, non-judgment, non-reactivity. So if you feel like your therapist is pressure you to feelings, I think it makes sense to be weary. Now, I don't think that means you should just stop going to therapy. I think that means you should say, hey, it feels like there's a pressure to feel my feelings. Hey, this doesn't feel right. Hey, I don't like the style here. Because a good therapist will say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize that. It happens to us. It happens. We don't realize sometimes. A not so great therapist might get super defensive. If your therapist gets defensive, it's not a great sign. A good therapist will respond non-defensively, collaboratively, invite your feedback and say, hey, how can we change things to make things better here? So I'm sure you guys have a lot of stories about being forced in your feelings. And if you want to hear about them, or if you want to tell me about them, I'd love to hear it.